19.
Are we for reals
Inappropriate
live?
edition.
Yes, we are for reals live. This is episode
my
19.
gosh.
Guys, it has been such a long time since we recorded.
I know. Last week I was away doing things.
I was on break. I took a spring break because I started a new job. Wow.
Yeah, but the sad thing is nobody told me we weren't having on air show, and I was sitting here waiting for you guys, and
What a
told you.
sucker. So sad.
yeah.
We told you.
But anyways, we are back this week, and we've got some news for you. So, thank you for everybody who is coming back, even though we took a break. Thank you, for still being like, oh, 1 week, it's okay. You can take 1 week off. It's no big deal. So, thank you guys for coming back. We got some news. Katie, what is going up with Sony?
Well,
And
Brian,
PlayStation.
do you have anything to say about Sony before
yeah,
I launch into them?
So when they were setting up the show, Doc, they're like, Sony PlayStation is in trouble. And I'm like, no, they're not. Sony is at the top of the pack right now. They're above everybody. Once they get those PlayStation 5s out and people start getting them, it's right now there's no rush. Nobody can get a PlayStation 5. You don't need to worry about games right now.
Right.
Talking about there's no big games on the horizon. You don't need any right now. Why would you waste your time putting out your AAA games? Nobody even has a PlayStation 5 yet.
For the folks that do have a PlayStation 5, I feel bad. They bought it early with the anticipation that there would be games to play. And it's not just that there are no games on the horizon. They're not even releasing dates for those games. For example, there's no release date for God of War Ragnarok. There's no release date.
We just heard about Ragnarok this year.
No, we did not.
We heard about like slim little details, rumors, but this is like official news. So they don't need to rush Ragnarok 2. That's an amazing masterpiece of a game. So they don't need to rush that. That could come out Christmas 2022 or whatever.
Well, even my thing is that isn't PlayStation, the PlayStation 5 have the backwards compatibility with past games, right?
Yes, it does.
It does.
I mean, you can
PlayStation
play games,
4 games probably mostly, yeah.
right? So you can play the past games like while you're waiting. I mean, I feel like that's not such a big.
Well, yeah, you don't really have much of a choice right now. But what's also concerning is that they're putting out, it doesn't matter to me because I don't have a PS5. I'm very content with my PS4. But if they're going to want to like really push for the PS5, then they got to at least have some games to put out there to promote it. You can buy a PS5. You can find PS5s now. There's no shortage. So when it comes to games, what are these developers doing making games just for PS4? Now, with that in mind, I did see today, I think it's MLB. It's definitely an MLB game. It's coming out for
MLB The Show.
Yeah, that is coming. I was questioning whether it was coming out for PS5, but it is, and PS4 and Xbox One and Xbox One S double hockey. I don't know what it is called. I don't keep up with Xbox, but they're releasing games for previous consoles and current gen, and it's just a little concerning. And not only that, but the best that we're getting right now is The Last of Us remake. That game came out in like 2013.
Well, even I was thinking about Cyberpunk and what a failure that was, for something that's supposed to be like 4K, it's supposed to be awesome gameplay, compatible with the system, and, it had the rumors and, actual, not just rumors, I guess, what was the opposite of a rumor? The fact, I guess.
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth. The footage coming back from people who bought and played the game, coming back saying, this game was garbage. It was not ready, even though it took so long. It's sad that PlayStation has that under their belt. So, I don't know.
Look, man, just download GTA 5 again. and
Again.
play it on your PlayStation 5 with awesome graphics, and you'll still have a great heck of a time. That's what
And
I
hey,
recommend doing.
if Bethesda has anything to say, they're going to definitely play. They're going to put Skyrim on the PS5 because, and I will put money on that. They will release Skyrim for the PS5 before they release the Elder Scrolls 6. I'm betting money on that. I've been waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. In fact, a couple years ago at I think it was an E3 or Game Awards, they teased the Elder Scrolls 6 and never heard from it again. So I'm putting money on I'm putting money on Skyrim being released again.
Well, to change the subject just a little bit, you've got this strange news about Elon Musk monkey. What is that about?
Yes, Elon Musk, also known as the real Iron Man, he's just so loaded with money and technology that he created, or his company has created technology that allowed a monkey to play Pong. It was using some sort of breath device, but I guess it had things hooked up to it as well. Play Pong and actually use its brain to successfully play a game of Pong against a computer.
Huh.
And I just thought that was strange news. Worth mentioning. This is where we're at, people. The monkeys are playing Pong.
Cutting edge.
Yeah.
Cutting edge technology.
Cutting edge technology.
I can't wait to put a device on Kirby and play Pong or Pac-Man with Kirby.
If you guys don't know, Kirby is Katie's dog that is literally like a soccer player. It is insane what that dog can do.
She's my little athlete, and so I can't.
Kidding? I'm gonna hook my children up to this machine and just make them do whatever I want.
Make them do whatever you want. So I'm sure there are lots of details on how and why, but I don't even want to get into it. There's a monkey that knows how to play Pong, and it's Elon Musk's doing, and I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Moving on, also in video game / movie news, Mortal Kombat dun, 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 is coming out April 23rd. You guys watching it?
What streaming
I might
service
take a
is it coming
shot.
on?
We'll see. Maybe.
I think it's coming on HBO Max.
Then I still have my subscription because I got it, remember, for Justice League. If you haven't seen it, it's great. Don't let people tell you otherwise. I had an argument the other day about the movie with a friend, and he was so adamant that this movie was awful. And I'm like, bro, you have no idea. So,
Oh man.
form your own opinion. Go see Justice League on HBO Max, and then while you're at it, because Mortal Kombat will be there, check that out. I will check it out myself and watch it.
Yes, and it's also coming out in theaters. So
Great.
Yeah, I might see it in theaters. I just remember when the original one came out, and I saw it really late, and it was so
You're
corny.
next. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
And
man.
I
It was great corn.
It was like pure 90s corn CGI, and yeah,
Yes.
I might give it a shot. And I mean, it's rated R. This one's going to be rated R, so it's going to be
Oh.
As
plenty.
it should be. And
know.
I'm this is going to sound weird, but I love that it's rated R because it just lines up with the Mortal Kombat the way it should be. That is a game that is, rated R.
If you've ever
in
played
terms of
Mortal
movies.
Kombat 10, oh my gosh, those death scenes are gnarly. They are not holding back with that.
Sometimes, yeah, I just go on YouTube and just watch fatalities.
Yeah, they're
and then I
so
imagine who would I like to
good.
do this fatality
They
to.
they like rip out spines with the head still attached
that's
and like
something-
throw it, you know.
There was one fatality. I can't remember which Mortal Kombat it was, but it is burned into my brain where they take this girl. I guess this guy replicates himself. So there's two of him, and he took this girl and literally ripped her in half.
Yep.
Like limb from limb, just tore her like paper. And I was like, I know I'm supposed to be grimacing at this. This is an abomination.
Right.
But I can't help but stare at all the gruesome detail. This is awesome. Now I was wondering. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, in a way, Mortal Kombat scares me because I ever thought like if I was in the Mortal Kombat universe, like if that was me there, and you knew they were gonna do these absolute grotesque, horrifying, bone crunching things, that
I'd run
terrifies me for
away.
some reason.
I would run away
Like
if I
They're
there's
was being
no,
scary.
you know, abandon all hope, ye who
yeah.
enter into Mortal Kombat, because you're gonna die a horrible, horrible death.
Horrible.
And then you're gonna
Horrible death.
watch, and it's like you're gonna watch yourself die too. That's kind of the thing, I'm like, I'm gonna see myself get dismembered in 6 different ways.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
like one character is like laying on the ground, the other one walks over and just steps straight through their chest. Like, my gosh. And like you're awake to see all that nonsense. No, it is so
I love
gruesome.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, predictions is since this is a video game movie, and we all know how video game movies typically are.
Oh boy.
Do you guys think that this is going to be a quality video game movie such as Sonic the Hedgehog or even Detective Pikachu? Yes, Detective Pikachu. It's super great. Do you think it's
It
going to
was
be
great.
of yeah, do you think it's going to be of good quality or is it going to be Final Fantasy
I'll say I
um
hope it gets the love it deserves. Mortal Kombat is really a great franchise. So I hope that it gets, the proper, love and care that the franchise deserves in movie form. Because I'm interested in it so far. I would like to see, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, all those characters, just in
just
the
rip
big
each other apart?
it like on the big screen, and it'd be modern, it'd be modern and good. So that I'm hopeful, but we'll see. Who knows? It could always just
Go big or go home. Just go all out. I think at some point you're like with that kind of franchise, that kind of movie, just you don't even care about like the critics or anything. Just go out there and just go,
And have a good time.
all out. Have a good time. Just do what you do best, and that's giving just bone crunching violence to little kids. I mean, come on, that's what
Not
we
little
need.
kids. If
Okay.
you're a little kid listening to this, you need to wait until you're about 17 or accompanied by an adult. If you're
yeah.
an adult, don't take your child to see this movie. Okay, don't be that guy.
No, don't
Yeah,
be
but
that
we
guy.
all know, because I mean, growing up, I remember like 6-year-olds playing Mortal Kombat.
Oh heck yeah, man, I did.
Yeah.
Shoot yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, no children, no.
a parental guidance is advised.
Yes, yes, yes. Just don't be a wiener. All right, so moving on. Pixar's Luca.
Some
I was
happier
surprised-
news. Some
Yeah.
happy
It's
news.
I don't think it's really that happy actually. This news, I feel kind of bad for these guys.
I don't know. So here's the news. Pixar's Luca is going to be released for free on Disney Plus on June 18th. And this is similar to what happened with Pixar's Soul. It was just released and I don't know. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. I was thinking it is Disney Plus's ploy to bring in people to subscribe to Disney Plus. And
And
if
I,
that's
I
if,
I don't think that's a good idea. Not with Pixar.
I also agree that it's not good.
Not the people that are going to be subscribing to Disney Plus are people that are going to be watching. They're not looking out for Pixar movies. That's not their. That's not what they want, like the Marvel, that kind of stuff. I think that's the kind of selling point for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Pixar is great. I love them, but I feel bad. I've been hearing like stories about how the animators and the creative team at Pixar, they're like upset because these films that they're putting all their hard work and blood and sweat into are just kind of getting kicked to the curb, like, well, we'll just put it on Disney Plus while they're not getting a theatrical release, and they're kind of
And
bummed
I
about
feel like
that.
they're not making as much money that way at all. Because, I mean, Disney Plus is what, $6 a month or something like that? So, I mean, you have a bunch of subscribers to Disney Plus, but where's the revenue coming in all of this? I feel like those are $1 million movies.
It is the revenue. Like I've been reading that, like if when you have a subscription service, like kind of like Costco, how they make their money is by the subscription. It's not by you actually going to the store and buying, two two big things of toilet paper. It's by you having a monthly bill of being a subscriber. That's how they make their money. But so they're making money with Disney Plus, but I just feel kind of bad that a studio as creative and has such a great history of making quality films as Pixar, they're just getting kind of brushed away. Like,
Well, even so, I feel like, okay, Disney Plus has Disney, Pixar, National Geographic, Marvel, and Star Wars. All of those franchises have to be paid, divvy up the money, by Disney. And I feel like just, the subscription alone is not going to sustain the company. So I don't
that's a
know.
good point. Yeah, I mean, well, at the end of the day, like, how much, a Pixar movie costs $200 million to make,
Right.
bare minimum. So, are they gonna keep making Are they gonna limit Pixar movies down the road because they're not
Ooh,
big
I
money
hope not.
makers?
Yeah, I
Or,
hope
or are they
not.
gonna try to? Are they gonna fold Pixar in with regular Disney animation?
Gosh, I hope not. But that's an interesting thing, though, because Disney has been
Excuse
saying,
me.
okay, we'll give you guys paid early access to like Raya and Mulan, and there was another movie that
No,
came out.
I think that was it actually.
Okay, so those movies were paid early access. How many people bought the early access? I don't know. If it was cheaper than going to the movies, but how many people are like, oh yeah, I want to spend $30 to watch this movie early when I could just wait a couple months and it comes out free. I don't know why Disney is only doing that for Disney movies and Pixar is not on that road as well.
Well, the negative thing about that also is that the two movies that were $30, you know, access, they were subpar. And so I think that's going to
Right.
deter
Yes.
people.
Yes.
I think that's going to deter people down the line from spending $30 on a movie that they're not sure about when all they have to do is just wait. Especially, nowadays, gas is getting a little bit more expensive and people are, starting to penny pinch just a little bit more. $30 is a lot to spend on one movie, especially if it's not going to
And
be that good.
it's here's the thing too. They've been like new IPs. If it was Frozen
Yeah.
3, then people would be like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay $60
Yeah,
to see
right.
Frozen 3." But Raya and the Last Dragon, nobody's ever heard of that before. Nobody's like, "Oh yeah, I've been waiting totally to see this."
So I don't even know how successful that whole franchise or that whole like system worked with the early access. Like, did they make a good chunk of money from that, or was it just like a flop? Because I know a lot of people watched the movie to review it, and they said it was like meh. But was it like a big group of people that actually paid for early access?
I
I
bet
don't know. And
you.
you got
I
to think
bet
of the
you.
COVID thing too. If like it's COVID, people aren't doing as much as they used to, and they're like, well, we'll just do $30 to watch something.
Well, and I bet you regular people, just like regular Joe Schmo down the street with, we'll say, three kids. Let's make a whole thing out of it. He's an accountant. He has a lovely wife. She's a
Joe
stay at home
Schmo.
mom. Yeah, Joe Schmo. And they have their kid Timmy Tantrum,
Mm.
and Joe Schmo and Timmy Tantrum. So they may not be as inclined to even care about seeing movies like this, let alone paying $30 for a movie they don't even care about. So I'm really curious to see what becomes of Disney and where they're deciding to go with this, because it's a little confusing. Now for me, I am, since I am in love with Pixar, I love Pixar. Of course, I'm like, yeah, okay, it's Luca's gonna be free. Awesome, that'll be great. But I just don't see how that is going to benefit Pixar nor Disney down the line. So it's
They
I
did
it's
that with
it's strange.
Onward too. I forgot that was with the deal with Onward too. How is like now? It's been a year since Onward came out. Does that movie have the fame and notoriety that all the other Pixar movies have?
Well,
Do you
Absolutely
think?
not.
no,
No,
and
no, no,
that's
no.
funny that you bring that movie up. That was the last movie we saw in theaters, and Katie and I were the only ones in the theater because that was right when COVID hit. So now we're just going to see this shift in how movies are produced and how we get to view and watch them. Because, I mean, I guess movie. I mean, everybody likes the experience of movies, but I guess from COVID, everybody's been comfortable within their homes, not having to see people, so and so, whatever.
Not having to put on pants.
But if you have a big, large family, going to the movies would be really expensive for you. If you had, 6 family members, that's more than $30. That's what is it, like $11 per ticket, and you've got 6 people? That's already $66 to see one movie.
Now, Timmy, we can't go to the theater this week, but I want to watch Luca.
So
take me to the theater, Mom.
So maybe this is going to be a positive for those people who can, save the money. But I feel like, as a creator myself, as an artist, and have, been in the, I know how to animate, and I know what that's like. It's hard work. And I feel like I want the animators to be paid for their hard work. So I don't know how the subscription is paying those workers, the proper compensation for their work. And also, like, the publicity is not there either. Like, I don't hear anybody in my circle talking about Luca. Not a single soul.
No. I bet this is just my own thought, and then we'll move on. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a lot of smaller studios doing a lot smaller things, but those smaller things are still going to be very great. Like, still great. Like, think Hilda.
It makes me think of Klaus.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll have smaller companies putting things out, and we may even see a little bit of dissolve from Disney and Pixar, or even DreamWorks, and these
You're
big
talking
studios.
on the animation front, though, right?
Yeah, on the anime, and that's what mostly, not all of it, but that's mostly what Disney and especially Pixar, that's what they are, animation. Even with television, they put out a lot of animated content, and so I think we're going to see that really start to fizzle, or at least change a lot. But speaking of television and animation, guys, what are you thinking about this Powerpuff Girls TV show?
Oh my gosh, no!
I know. I love Chloe Bennett, though. I love Chloe Bennett. I'm totally in love with her from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think she's great. She's awesome. So, I don't know. Chloe Bennett's really cute. So, she do whatever she wants.
I just don't know. Okay, so we grew up watching every night. We watched the Powerpuff Girls. The 3 of us. That was the one time that we actually came together and we wouldn't fight.
I love the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, we would sit and we would watch Dexter's Laboratory and Ed, Edd and Eddy and Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack. Cartoon Network was the shiznit. And
those
so
little bug-eyed freaks.
Yeah, I am Buttercup. So when I first saw that they were doing a live action Powerpuff Girls, I thought, no. And then I saw pictures.
You know what they're going to do is they're going to millennialize it,
Exactly.
And it's just going to be like, no.
And they made the girls like teenagers or early 20s.
Right.
These are like supposed to be like little girls. Like, I want to hear Bubbles
sugar, spice, and everything nice.
I want to hear Bubbles singing coloring. Where's that? What happened to all the color?
Professor!
Yes, exactly. So why are these girls like glowed up?
They're gonna get sexualized, which really sucks, dude.
Oh, speaking of sexualized, then where is Miss Bellum? I need pictures of Miss Bellum. Are they going to show her face?
She's in there. She's in the cast list. I saw that. She's in the cast list.
They cannot show her face. That is taboo. We do not need to know what Miss Bellum looks like.
Hey, who's the guy? Who does SpongeBob's voice? What's his name again? Tom Kenny. Are they going to get Tom Kenny back as the mayor? Powerpuff Girls.
They should.
Help! Townsville's in trouble.
Okay, so I
can't open this jar of pickles.
I don't know if any of you guys saw the Winx saga that's on Netflix.
No. Nothing about Winx.
Okay, so I grew up watching Winx Club on, I don't even know what that was, like CW.
What is Winx? What is Winx?
They're like little fairies.
Yeah, fairy teenage girls, but it was animated, and they were very, like, 2000s looking, whatever. Netflix decided to make a show based on that, They
Okay.
completely throw out the source material. It was like, they're like, oh yes, fairies and their names. Cool, got it. And they threw out everything. It was bonkers. And I'm like, are they going to do this with the Powerpuff Girls? They're like, okay, here are the girls. Okay, now they're teenagers. The Wings Club girls were teenagers, but they were like, like bubbly and cute. All of these girls in the Winx saga were depressing and mopey, sad teenagers who were like horny or something. It was embarrassing to watch. It was
Hey,
just like,
I had this conversation with a coworker of mine talking about Powerpuff Girls. You know what show I would love to see be put in live action is Totally Spies.
oh, absolutely.
Aren't
That
they
would
doing
be
that? I feel like they
rad.
are doing that.
They
I
are
felt like
no.
I felt like they were making a movie or something. But
Yeah,
Totally
it's coming
Spies?
up.
But
It's
back,
coming up.
but
Just
back
wait.
to Powerpuff Girls. I really hope they do not do what Wink Saga did, and make the girls like these sex icons or something, or make them mopey teenagers of like, oh, the worries of school, oh, the worries of boys. Like, no one cares. We just want to see them beat in Mojo Jojo's face, like,
Yes.
kill him for the 50th time. Like, oh my gosh, I just want to see
Because
Townsville saved.
in Powerpuff Girls there is this weird dude humor that I don't it just won't translate to modern live action. You notice
Yeah.
that. I mean, if you watch it, there's like this geek humor in Powerpuff
Yes.
Girls. It is very like girl power, which is great. I love that. But there is this kind of nerdy animated geeky
Fuzzy
feel to it.
Lumpkins, the Gang
know.
Green Gang.
It's such a good show. It really
Like
appeals
the
to
Amoeba
anybody doing
Boys.
anything.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Amoeba Boys.
And him and Princess. I love Princess.
Those stupid Powerpuff Girls.
Daddy, give me money.
So I really hope they don't trash it with these, adult women playing teenage girls who are actually supposed to be little girls. Just
yeah.
don't trash the show. That is my favorite childhood show,
Also,
apart
you
from
cannot-
Avatar.
You cannot mess up Professor Utonium. You just
Yeah.
can't.
They got Donald Faison from Scrubs. He's going to be Professor Utonium. That might be good. I don't know. He's a funny guy. So he's hilarious, actually.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, like you said that, and my first thought was the guy that was on My Name Is Earl, and he Alvin and the Chipmunks. I can't remember, Jason something.
Oh.
Jason Lee? No,
yeah.
not him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that
like,
would be good. That would be good, but
No,
that would be
not-
like that's
not-
too on the nose, I think.
not him as Professor Utonium, but it's just weird. Like I have this feeling like it would be like the same watching Jason Lee as Dave Seville.
Yeah, with
I don't-
animated characters.
Yeah, and just being a little. It just didn't fit. It didn't fit. So that's what I'm hoping is not the case. For whoever for the guy that plays
I'm gonna say a little prayer for this show and hope that
Please
it's
do.
good.
One last thing, yes, there was a Totally Spies movie came out in 2009. It looks like it might have been like a local thing. It is a Canadian show, so.
Oh,
But
that was such a good show.
I want a live action Totally Spies show. I love that show.
That's a good one. All right, it is time for a sweet thing with KT.
Yes, it is time for a sweet thing with me. So today's dessert, I wish you guys could see it. My camera is not working at the moment, but today's dessert is a little strawberry cake from, get this name, this is a great name for a business, Whatever the Occasion.
Boo.
Yes, whatever the occasion in Swanee. I had some of their cookies earlier, and those were good cookies. But this is a very thick strawberry cake.
Thick.
And it looks very decadent. I'm throwing in my spoon right now. It's very thick already. Let's see how this goes. All right. So it has like right below the icing, which is very sweet, there's a strawberry jelly. The cake is The cake is pretty moist. It's not like thick cake. I think what's making it heavy is this jelly and the icing, but it's very good. What was that?
What an interesting sound.
Yeah. Anyway, good cake, man, and it is a big honkin' size. It's a big chunk. So, once again, that is whatever the occasion located in Swanee, Georgia.
Nice.
The flavor that this is called Berry Delicious. All right.
It sure is.
It sure is berry delicious. All right. Eat local. Ilyana, do you have anything for us this week, animated wise?
Yes, I do. So, I actually don't know what season this is. It may be season 3, I believe. Sorry, I'm actually a little bit under the weather, or recovering from being under the weather, so my voice is a little cracky. But on Netflix, I love to give you all the Netflix animated shows, is Pokemon Journey. If you've never seen a Pokemon TV show, I know the most famous one is Indigo League. That's the first TV show. What I grew up watching, that was my favorite. I absolutely loved, Brock and Misty, along with Ash. This one is following the Sword and Shield story for the new Switch video game. So, it has all those characters, all the new Pokemon from Sword and Shield into it. It has a new character. His name is, it's a Kai or something?
It's Go.
Go, that's it. Yeah, Go. Very interesting name.
As in Pokemon Go.
Go. And he's got himself a score bunny, and it's Ash and Pikachu as usual with, Team Rocket not far behind. And, they're just going around being 12-year-olds still, of course. And it's a fun show, just like any other Pokemon show is. If you've seen any of them, you've seen them all pretty much. They're so good. Another recommendation I'll have is Sun and Moon. It's very childish, but it's so fun and adorable to watch. I know, mostly adults watch this show, or maybe, you're just like, oh, maybe that's too kid for me. It's so much fun. Give it a chance. I absolutely adore Sun and Moon and Pokemon Journey. So go give it a watch.
Get off your high horse and go watch Sun and Moon. I think I've watched both seasons like 3 times.
It's so good. I think I've watched it a good fair bit too. I'm not afraid to admit that.
Beware is my spirit animal.
It's so cute. So that's my animation of the sorry, excuse me.
Animation of the what?
Animation with Liliana. I don't know what it's called. My animation segment. Pokemon Journey. Go check it out. It's on Netflix now, season 3. Yes, it's very good. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, meat and potatoes of the podcast. We're talking about Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong. So, if I'm reading this correctly, is this year Donkey Kong's 40th anniversary?
Wow.
You are right.
No way. That is so amazing. Ancient, bro. Ancient.
Yes. So, it is now history time with KT. Please grab a banana smoothie and let's strap in. So, way back in the day, it was, picture this, about okay.
Excuse you.
It was, bless you. It was about the late 70s or early 80s. Cabinets, video game cabinets were all the rage in arcades. And Nintendo was they were getting in on this. If you don't know, Nintendo has been around since the 1800s. Actually, they used to sell.
Are you serious?
Nintendo has been around since the 1800s. They sold cards. They made and sold cards, and then they moved on to
like birthday cards,
like Brian shut your face cards.
How rude.
They made like trading cards. And then they moved on to toys. And then they started getting in on video game cabinets. Well, there was a video game cabinet that they made
And that's
called,
for your cabs.
oh my gosh, they the game was called Radar Scope, and they had a lot of these video game cabinets laying around, and back then a young Shigeru Miyamoto, the granddaddy of video games, he was just a young developer. I think he was about like 19 or 20, very young, very, very young. He was tasked with coming up with a game to put into a brand new game to put into these cabinets that were left over. And so originally Donkey Kong was going to be like Donkey Kong the character was going to be Bluto from Popeye. It was actually going to be a Popeye game, but they couldn't get the rights to Popeye from Universal or MGM, one of the
Thank God.
something
Is
like
it
that.
is it Fleischer Studios or something?
No,
like that?
not Fleischer.
No, not Fleischer. Oh.
It was owned at the time in the 80s by like MGM or Universal, something like that. So they couldn't get the rights to Popeye, and so they made King Kong. They made Donkey Kong. They made Donkey Kong. King Kong. Yes, and so lo and behold, Donkey Kong was born, and so was Mario. Mario was born in 1981. And
Donkey Kong are Mario are brothers?
No.
Yes.
You know what? To quote George of the Jungle, primate family, brothers. That's a never mind. That is an old reference.
That was a good one.
That was a good reference. Yes.
You're just showing your age, my gosh.
I know. That was like 1998, something like
1998, yeah.
So
You know,
Donkey Kong was born.
I say showing your age. I was already a year old. My gosh. Anyways.
Yeah, shut your face. Shut your face. All right, so Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong was a huge success.
Because he's huge.
And successful at throwing barrels at Mario. And so, that's how Donkey Kong came to be. And then from Donkey Kong, coming out in 1981, we had...
Wait a minute. Donkey Kong came out? When did this happen?
You're done.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So this has been history with KT. But to finish up, so we had Donkey Kong come out in 1981. 2 years later, we had the Mario Brothers come out in 1983, where they were it was a game where they were in the sewers and you had to kill the Koopas and the spiny thingies.
The Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, pretty much. And then 2 years later, a monumental game came out called Super Mario Brothers. Came out for the Famicom in 1985. And so from there, things just took off. But none of this would be possible without Donkey Kong. So Donkey Kong is very, very important, not just to Nintendo, but to video games as a whole. So that is why Donkey Kong is so special. And not, for me personally, I remember it was Christmas of, I think it was 1994 or something like that. We received... 1994, we received our Super Nintendo, and it was a pack-in title. Donkey Kong Country was a pack-in title, and wow, we played that game to death, boy.
Well, it kind of sucked because we got it that Christmas day, and we couldn't even open it. We barely got to play it because we had to drive home from Florida to North Carolina, and that same day. So right after Christmas, it's like, all right, pack up. We got to go. I want to play this. No, shut up. We got to go. I remember I got to play one level. I got to play because we had to watch our cousin Will just get into it and just have fun. Like, no, don't touch. You can only watch, which really sucked.
And that was Donkey Kong Country 1?
Yeah, it was Donkey Kong
such
Country.
A classic.
And I remember the only level I got to play was the boss level, Very Naughty's Lair. and it was so fun.
And that was when it was like we were still very little, and we didn't really have we had a NES, which was one thing, but the Super Nintendo, man, things were like crazy hard with that, allegedly. You look back on it now and it's like, okay, you just jump on it 3 times. But
no,
it took
I mean,
us
it was
a long
ridiculous.
time. It took us a long time to kill that stupid beaver. Now I do it with my eyes closed, but I mean, it's like back then, get it, get it, go. A lot of yelling and screaming. Shut up! Give me the
No,
controller!
because Very Naughty is super easy. Like a lot of the
But
levels
for some
beforehand,
reason, man,
like Blast Off Canyon, that took forever to beat. That level
did take
is the creme de la creme of
What
barrel
is the
blasting levels.
Yeah, which one's the barrel that attacks you? Like,
that's Boss Dumb Drum.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
never
Boss
good at that
Dumb
one.
Drum.
Nor was I ever really good at Necky.
Wait,
Master
Mini
Necky.
Necky or Little Necky or Master Necky?
The-
Master
Master
Necky
Necky.
Senior.
Master Necky.
Master Necky Senior, yeah.
I said
Yeah.
it first, sucker. You don't
Master
know. You don't
Necky
know.
Senior.
So speaking of Christmas, Wesley, Brian, do you remember when we got the Sega Genesis in Florida as well? We actually received it at our grandparents' house, and
Yes.
that came in with Vectorman, and then we had to pack it up also and drive back home.
Gosh, so sad.
No, we got to play that a lot because our other cousins were there, and they pretty much just crammed us in like the back bedroom and just said, just
Yeah,
don't bother us.
exactly,
And just play
yeah.
this.
That's
But
awesome.
they bought me Grandma and Grandpa also bought me Echo the Dolphin, which was a big game for what is it, Game Gear, I think, but I didn't have a Game Gear. They thought that it would go with my Sega. They bought me, and I'm like, poor Echo. I'll never know what happened to Echo the Dolphin. But so Donkey Kong Country 1 is very special. Donkey Kong Country 2 was a heck of a lot harder.
Yeah.
Rare took this game just a year later. That game came out in 1995. Just a year later, and they just kicked it up like 5 notches.
See, to me,
those Bramble ones, oh my gosh, they're so
playing
hard.
those games, they're such a challenge, and I feel like they're a challenge in a way that current games never are. Now they can't. They're not at that same level. Like, it took us exactly 1 year to beat Donkey Kong Country 1. 1 year to beat that game. And I remember I beat King K. Rool. I was in the summertime.
Bro.
Katie was in Florida. And I remember just
I was
being...
there.
No, I was all by myself. I remember I was all by myself with, like, just staying up. It was like the middle of the summertime when the days just run into each other and you have no idea what's going on. And I had the TV in my room and just playing that stupid King K. Rool level like at least 25 times before I finally beat that guy. And it was one of the most gratifying things to like just beat him and then have all the animals like run around through the credits and the Kremlings. Oh, it was so
Dude,
great.
I had to be there because I remember that. I remember we were bouncing up and down because we beat it. I had to
was
be
tough.
there. It was tough.
But DK2 was very difficult. I mean,
It was
ridiculously
a whole new
difficult.
level of difficult. But yeah, the Bramble levels, the windy levels that would push you back, like the ones in the woods, the ones in the tower. Man, those were like really, really hard.
The hot ones, the lava ones.
Yeah, the lava ones too.
Then you had the ones where you had to get all the bonus coins to get the secret level worlds. Those
Yeah,
were really
yeah,
hard
yeah.
too. The creme
yeah.
coins, you know.
So you go from Donkey Kong 2 to a very different version of the Donkey Kong Country ones, and that's Donkey Kong 3. Featuring not Donkey Kong at all. He's not even in the game.
He's not even in the title, actually. If you go back, it's not. I don't think it's in the title.
Wow. So, I mean, that one was just completely different. But, I mean, they still had the same formula of how to play. But I feel like the levels were much more... I don't know. I feel like they wanted to do something different than the levels we had
They
seen
changed it up
previously.
where you could travel around the worlds,
Right,
and
right.
like build up, transportation vehicles, like different boats and jet skis and a hovercraft, so you could kind of cruise around doing that. That game was dependent on you actually finding all the secrets
Right.
in order to beat that game.
Lots and lots of collectibles. I love it.
Banana birds.
Yeah, banana birds. You still have DK coins.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of fun. It was the very last level, like regular.
Still never beaten the game. I've never beaten that game at all.
It's
Nope,
awesome.
me neither.
I have. You can actually get 105%. That is a perfect game.
The hardest one is the level that makes you play backwards. That like
Exactly,
going
that's
left
just what I was
goes
gonna
right
say.
and left
Yeah.
or right goes left or whatever.
What?
That is
Who
that
does
is
something
ridiculous.
that foul? That's
I
That
know,
is
right?
sick.
That is the last level before you play the boss, which isn't even the last boss, but it's like the last big boss. And even now, I think that is some monumental game development. That really is something. Like, I'm sure it's very simple. Like, you just, instead of this, that you make it this. But I always thought that was so neat, just so cool, and really difficult, especially when you have to jump out of the water, out of the toxic water, and then things become back to normal. So you still have to, you want to jump to the left, but you have to hold right. But when you're out of the water, then you have to immediately hold left. So it's very challenging.
It's a very trial and error game. I remember you guys had the book, the like cheat book or something like that, all the hidden secrets.
That was for the
Way
first
to call
one.
us out.
Yeah.
Way to call us
Yeah.
out.
I mean,
Dang.
who didn't though? And you guys, I think it was like from GameStop or something that you guys bought, and you would watch the cheats of like where all the hidden things are, how to like skip a whole level and just pop out at the end. Yeah, that was the first game, and I know that those Donkey Kong games are special, but I mentioned the banana birds, and that takes us into DK64. What a different type of game.
And I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of the game. That game was all you guys.
I
could
loved
not get
watching
into it at
Katie
all.
play that game. I was still young at that age when that game came out for the 64, so I watched Katie mostly play it. I tried here and there, but
I felt it was just tedious. Just a tedious game.
It was.
it was
and I just
it was a
could
lot
never get
of
into
going back with the character, and that was another interesting thing, the introduction of new characters that we hadn't seen before, and the fact that it was an open world game, like open world at the time, as much as it could be.
Yeah.
That we had never seen that before. It wasn't a side scroller, it was a 3D
It was a
game.
platform.
Yeah, but
3D
it
platformer.
wasn't side scroll, it was 3D. So like how Ocarina of Time is 3D or something like
Yeah.
that.
I would call it open world, but like open world level, open world like
Right,
specific
right.
levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you could choose where you wanted to go next, pretty much, but it still had to follow the storyline.
Yeah, and if I have it correctly, I think it still holds the record for most collectibles in a game. I think that is true. I mean, you had bananas, banana coins, fairies, lots of other things, and there are 5 characters you can play as, and each one of them has a number of things that you need to collect. Like, I think 100 bananas per level, man, like per world. And it was just huge. It was a huge game. It came out after Banjo-Kazooie, which was a monumental success as well from Rare. And so I don't think I ever beat it. I think I hit a wall and I said, you know what? I've had enough. But what was cool about Donkey Kong 64 is that it also had a shoot 'em up component where it was like GoldenEye. You could play with 3 other people and just shoot everybody. Like and
multiplayer.
yeah, multiplayer. You could be like chunky or tiny, lanky. Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong, and they each had their own gun, and you could actually also be one of the bad, and you had your own gun, and like these orange bombs that you could throw, and it was just a good time. We played that a lot.
Oh,
And
those are called coconuts. Thank you.
No, they were oranges. Thank you.
Yeah, they were oranges and they exploded.
They were oranges, boy.
It was it was such an interesting game. Also, it kind of had like a scary component to it with King K. Rool. He was a lot more intimidating in this game than he was in previous ones.
Man, if you died, he would laugh. He would straight up laugh at you
It
and
was so
blow up
scary.
Donkey Kong Island. He would just straight up blow it to oblivion.
But another sad thing about it is I feel like not too many people played that game growing up. Like I don't have anybody that I know, except for you guys, who have like played the game. Like I don't have any friends that have talked about it, or I don't ever see people talking about it. It's like that was a great game, and I feel like it's really sad on a little bit.
I think part of
it was the tedium. I think it was the part of the tedium of the game, and Donkey Kong. I think we're gonna get into that a little bit, but as far as like the character and the franchise, I don't know if he was really sticking with people. Kind of.
Well, there was
if he had as much personality as Mario, even though Mario, maybe you could argue, doesn't have his personality either. But I don't think Donkey Kong. He had a cartoon, but I don't know if anybody watched that either.
No, that cartoon was cringe. But I think part of the problem is that Rare, from a developmental side, they packed in so much that an ordinary Nintendo 64 could not handle everything that it was putting out. So they had to include a memory pack that you would put into your...
right. They had expansion pack. Yeah.
It was an expansion
totally
pack.
Right.
And I think
Poor
that drove
64.
up and I think that drove up the price just a little bit. And so, I think that may have been a thing as well.
A deterrent or something.
Do what?
A deterrent or something.
Oh yeah. So from Donkey Kong 64, we get what I call the meh era, where we have like Donkey Konga, where the Wii came out and you had peripherals and things like that, where you had bongos to play on. That was kind of the thing that was going on with Nintendo. They just wanted peripherals with everything. When Twilight Princess came out, they came out with a game called Link's Crossbow Training.
Oh, such a good game.
That was a good game, but they had a peripheral for that as well, where it was like a plastic gun where you would stick your Wii remote and play it as
the nunchuck also.
Yeah, you would play it as though it would be a crossbow thing. So there was a lot of Donkey Kong stuff like that. What fodder, just like bargain bin fodder, until Donkey Kong Returns came swinging onto the Nintendo Wii, and that was a hard game.
It was fun. But it was a lot of fun, though.
It was a new approach. It was 3D, but it was still side-scrolling, and it had new features of like, we're going to manipulate the environment a little bit, so we're gonna, throw you upside down, kind of like Mario Galaxy did a little bit, but it was still like side-scrolling. But they were still able to like go sideways and just manipulate the field a little bit more. So, and it was super hard. Oh my goodness.
Like ridiculously hard. And sadly, no King K. Rool here.
A whole slew of new characters in this one too.
Yeah, a whole bunch.
But I never beat that game. In fact, I think that I eventually got bored of that game. We did have it, but I think we lost. We were just like, I think we're good now.
Well, also at that time, I was starting college, or I was in college, and so I had to sort of put my games away for.
I was still too young to be good at video games. I was like, I'm still a baby at this. I need help.
I was a newlywed and interested in other things. You know what I mean.
Oh my gosh.
So
but
Donkey Kong Returns.
Yeah,
it was
that jump started some new stuff for the franchise, at least.
Yeah, and now we are at Tropical Freeze. I love Tropical Freeze. That is a masterclass in game development, I think, right now. In modern game development, I still have that soft spot for Donkey Kong, and I still go back and I play Donkey Kong Country, the original 3. I go back and I play them all the time on my Switch. But when it comes to Tropical Freeze, you look at the beauty and just what they did with even things like fruit. They made a whole world just based on fruit, and it looks so good. It looks so yummy, but they also make it look like really bouncy. but then they also have like this levels that are just so fun to play. It's not just a platformer. It's not just a linear left to right platformer. You go backwards and frontwards, just every which way. And the water levels are not bad. And that's saying something. Water levels are notoriously the worst. The water levels are not bad. The music is mwah. The bosses, mwah. There's some, and it's very silly, very very silly. They take these characters and give them character. Imagine. So it is just a ton of fun to play Tropical Freeze, but that's where we're at now. And that game came out for the Nintendo Wii U. Nintendo, Rare, Buddha, give me something.
Oh my. And then Tropical Freeze was ported over to the Switch. So far, the Switch does not have a Donkey Kong game, not an original Donkey Kong game. And I'm wondering if we're going to see one come. I mean, hopefully with the 40th anniversary, they'll give us something. But you touched on the music of Tropical Freeze. I would like to go ahead and talk about the musical legacy of Donkey Kong. What
Listen,
a legacy.
When your mom hears just a little bit of it and says, "Yeah, that's when the monkeys are swimming to the right." You
my
know
gosh.
that's
Oh my
something.
gosh,
You know
yeah.
that's something. And
That music is repetitive, but it is so good. Oh
And
my
it's-
gosh.
Some of the best video game music ever made.
I
period.
still, like, when I'm needing some chill music, I will go and look up a YouTube video of, a whole OST of a Donkey Kong game. It is something magical.
It really is. David Wise is a master of minimalism. So just taking little nuances here, giving it atmosphere. You don't even need like a whole orchestral thing. Even
Something
like the cave levels.
Something as interesting as like the bees in I think it's Donkey Kong Country 2, where it's like boka 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 boka. You just get like the whole feeling of this is where I am. This location fits the music so well. It's like, okay, who would have thought a bumblebee sounded like that? But gosh, does it make sense?
Like that is a just
There's
a banger.
There's such bops. Like, I don't understand what Nintendo was doing at that time, but they were doing something right.
So talking about Donkey Kong Country 3 and how different it was, I love how it's such I could be, I think I'm very alone in this ballpark, but bear with me. When you first turn on and play the first level of Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2, the music is very atmospheric. Like, you barely have anything. In Donkey Kong Country 2, you actually don't have music. It starts out with the sounds of a ship and like the wood creaking.
Oh yeah, and as you get further in the level, then the music starts to pop in, but it's still very quiet.
Exactly. But no, Donkey Kong Country 3, boy, we are here. Break
out the tuba.
It's like you're, because you're on like this boardwalk on a lake,
right.
and it sounds like almost like you're at like a picnic or something,
Yeah.
So good. It's so silly, but it's so different compared to the other two.
Yes, and then the further you get into Donkey Kong Country 3, the more nuanced it becomes. Like when you're in levels with the cliffs, it just sounds like so rocky and like, come on.
I wonder if people have like the same, enthusiasm for that music as we do, because I know we're a bunch of dorks for Donkey Kong music. Like Katie and I will be on the phone and be like, "Oh, do you remember this Donkey Kong song?" And we'll just, give one beat and it's like, "Oh yeah, that one goes like," and we'll just like go and we'll sing the whole thing. And I'm like, do other people have like this enthusiasm for Donkey Kong and redo.
any of the Funky Kong music, Funky Kong.
Oh man.
Ooh, yeah. There's like 3 different versions the song's going.
Or
They were always such good times.
man, even in Donkey Kong 3,
Oh yeah, his workshop.
like that's just cool.
Wait, what was Funky Kong's music? Yeah, it was like the guitar, the surf guitar, the ooh, yeah. You know,
Oh,
in the first one, Donkey Kong 1. I know it would be like, yo, I never listened to what Funky Kong had to say. He would like introduce himself. Hey, dude, this is Funky Kong. Jump into the barrel and fly away. Wouldn't have to care what Funky Kong says, man.
And then
Whatever happened to Candy Kong? Whatever happened to Candy Kong with their sweet self, man?
I think she comes back in Tropical Freeze, if I have it correct.
that's Donkey Kong's
does she?
girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like taller than him.
They never like officially canonized it,
Oh.
but she's just like, you know, she's.
I mean, she was like throwing candy kisses to Diddy Kong too.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's Donkey Kong 64. When you go to visit Candy.
Such good times.
Oh man.
It's like funny to
Yeah,
reminisce and like go through all the music, and like each sound fits so well to like the environment, to the baddies that you're going to be facing, and like that one I can like already see that's like a winter one or something,
I thought
Just,
that
like,
was
a little
Claptrap.
Yeah,
I was
it is
jumping on
Claptrap.
Claptrap.
That's when they die.
But it
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
like one of the, like the little blue snapper things, and like
Yeah, the
win-
Claptraps.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
winter one, like it's all Snow Peak or something like that.
Oh man, but yeah, 64. What Donkey Kong 64 did with music? It's called a theme and variation. They took the bum 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 bum.
Oh, so good.
Bum bum bum. They took that theme and put variations on it throughout the rest of the world.
The cave version of that song,
Boop 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 boop.
and then like some drips here and there, some sounds.
Do, 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 do.
That's the temple one.
Oh yeah. I forgot how the cave goes. It's a little bit more marimba-fied.
Yeah.
But yeah, still very iconic music. Very scary music.
Yeah.
At
definitely.
times. Like when you're
Get
in places
out.
that are get out.
Oh, that's so scary. That boop.
Yeah. I'm leaving. I'm sorry.
So scary. The music was so scary, and like all the sounds. Nope.
Yeah, and so when we come back to Donkey Kong Returns and Tropical Freeze, everything is orchestral. There's one song in particular. Oh man, and it turns metal. Like in Tropical Freeze, I bump to some like metal from Tropical
And
Freeze.
I mean, maybe because I don't have like as much like nostalgia for those games as I do the other ones. I don't really have like what do those sounds? What are those music sounds to in those games? I don't really remember them as much.
Really, it's a big hodgepodge. Because they don't do what's called a theme and variation. They don't do that, and it's not as atmospheric. It's actually music. Like in Tropical Freeze, they have a world that is Bavarian based. So you have a lot of accordion and a lot of woodwind instruments. But then they also have another world that is more African not safari. What is like grassland? We'll just put it like an African grassland. So you have more African
Savannah?
Yeah, savannah. That's the word. Thank you. Good gosh. So you have those kinds of instruments that fit that sort of area. But then when you play a boss, then suddenly everything turns heavy metal, and so you have just this amalgamation of sounds and music that fits whatever environment you're in. but unfortunately, it just does not have that same appeal to it because, in my opinion, because it does not have that theme and variation. There's nothing to make it really repetitive, so like an earworm that will just stick with you. But it doesn't make it any less good of a song. So, in conclusion, what do we want to see next from Donkey Kong and Friends? This is something that Ileana and I have talked about many times. I want an open world game similar to either Breath of the Wild or Mario
Yes.
Odyssey.
Yes.
I want that for Donkey Kong, and bring back King K. Rool. He's obviously a popular character, especially in
Smash
Super Smash
Ultimate.
Brothers.
Why? I don't
Yeah.
know why he's such a huge character in Smash Ultimate, but he is a fan
He's so
favorite.
great. He's one of my favorites. I love using him playing online or just with friends. I use him all the time. He's so sassy. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm hoping that they bring back all the characters, like Chunky,
Tiny, Lanky.
Tiny, Dixie. Yeah, Diddy, obviously. I want them all there. Make it just a huge thing. And make it worthy of 40 years of content.
I would also like to see that multiplayer type game again. That was a lot of fun. Katie, you and I spent hours playing that multiplayer on Donkey Kong 64, fighting the beavers and hearing boo, boo.
Yeah.
It was so much fun though.
Yeah. And when you when you get hit, your watermelon goes down like a quarter.
Yeah, so much fun. I would love if they just like smashed all of those 3 different Donkey Kong eras all together.
Yeah, even Donkey Konga. Why not?
Sure.
So that was our humble mini celebration on Donkey Kong 40 years. Happy birthday, Donkey Kong.
Happy birthday, Donkey Kong.
Yay!
Feliz en tu dia.
Before we hit the road.
Repeat that again. Sorry, it stopped right there.
Oh, sorry. It was a lag. Any last words for Donkey Kong before we hit the road, guys?
No.
Hey, Diddy Kong Racing was a good racer.
It was so weird, but it was good.
I didn't like it.
I played it. I played a lot of it. It was bizarre.
It's actually a very, very popular game, and people have been pushing for like Diddy Kong Racing 2, but
no,
I just never
it doesn't need to be done at all.
No, do it because I'm sick of Mario Kart, and especially for the Switch.
What?
Kart racing is best on N64. I'm just gonna say.
Oh
that
my
flat
gosh.
out.
No, it was
It's
best
true.
on the Wii. It was best on
No.
the Wii.
it was so good on
Nah,
the Wii.
man. I'm gonna end with that. That's what I'm gonna leave with.
Oh my god.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for sticking through this episode. If you guys enjoyed this episode, leave a like and comment down which is your favorite Donkey Kong era. We don't know what we're going to be talking about next week, but I hope you guys stay tuned and enjoyed this episode. If you haven't subscribe, and we'll see you guys in next week's episode. Bye-bye!
Bye, everybody.